Hello, I'm back for another video. My name is Josh Kastic, and today is my The Secret World of Arrietty review. Now, this is another Studio Ghibli anime film for my Studio Ghibli anime film review series on my channel. So without further ado, let's get into the plot. So the movie opens up with a boy named Shou. He's getting out of a car, about to go into his aunt's house. Now, he's staying in his aunt's house getting ready to go for an operation for his heart condition that he has since birth, that is making him sick and he has to be in bed. Well, before he gets in this house, he discovers a tiny girl kind of going across plants and stuff. And this girl is named Arrietty. She is she's a borrower. A borrower is like, they're small humans that aren't pixies. They don't have any magic. They're just small humans. That's all they are. And she kind of goes through this vent in the house and goes through some pathways into her home within the human's home. There we get to see her mother, Hamili, and eventually at night, her father comes home, and his name is Pod, and he has come home from a borrowing mission. See, borrowers, they stay within human homes, or regular human homes, and they go out and steal items. They call them borrowing, but they're really stealing, because they're not going to give them back in order to survive. And they only steal small items that they can carry, and essentially they only need small versions of things that, us bigger or normal humans need. So obviously it's easier to survive by getting smaller items with them than it is us getting normal stuff. So I find that interesting. But essentially that's kind of what's going on here. Now, Pa takes Arrietty on her first borrowing mission, as she has now come of age to go on and do that. And they steal a sugar cube, which she kind of puts in her bag, but I guess it wasn't fully zipped right, because she also, for a later moment, now she also takes a pin that she kind of used as a sword to protect protect her, and then they decide to take a tissue paper, but that happens to be in Shou's room, and there, when as taking the tissue paper, Shou is still awake and sees them, and as she panicked, and the sugar cube fell out of her bag, and they had to leave. And that's kind of what happened. Now, the next day, Shou shows up near the vent and leaves the sugar cube with a note. Now, Arrietty reads the note, but her father says to leave the sugar cube and everything alone. We cannot be confronted or discovered by humans, or they're going to have to leave. And so she goes and talks to Shou. Now, Shou is in his bedroom. She kind of comes out near the window ledge and try to hide behind curtains while talking to him, saying that he needs to leave them alone or they're going to have to leave. They really don't want to leave their home that they have took time to build within the house. So, he says, he totally understands, but he really wants to get to know them because he's a young boy and curious. And they tell each other their names. Obviously, he tells her his name, Shou, and his name is Shou to her, and she tells him her name, which is Arrietty. But then a crow comes in, attacking, trying to get Arrietty, thinking she's food. Shou saves her, putting her within his hands. Now, Haru comes in, the servant of the place, which is funny because that's the name of the main character in The Cat Returns, and she blocks off the crow. Now, he tries to keep Arrietty concealed so Haru doesn't see her, and then Haru does eventually get out of the situation, go through back the tunnels, but she gets confronted by her father, Pod, who realizes that she has been confronted and just by Shou, and that it's finally time for them to leave. And so they get ready to leave. Now, during this time, Shou talks to his aunt Sadoku, who tells him how their ancestors have seen the borrowers before and created this dollhouse that is in his room that he's staying at for them. And so as a good gesture, he decides to, first he discovers that their house is under the floor in this closet, and he kind of opens up the roof, takes out their kitchen, and gives them the kitchen of the dollhouse, which is bigger. And he does this as a gesture, a good gesture, I think, whatever. That you understand what I'm trying to say. Even, I think but they are freaked out about this, so they try to increase their time of leaving. Now, Pod goes on another mission to, another borrowing mission. But he gets injured and comes back with the help of Spiller, a survivalist boy, borrower in the forest. And then, Haru, being a housekeeper, discovers that there's something wrong with the closet. She opens up and discovers that the floor has kind of been moved and removes it and sees Hamili. And she takes Hamili and realizes she sees the kitchen of the dollhouse and sees other things and realizes that they've been stealing from them. And so she puts Hamili in a jar as proof that these people are real, and calls the animal control or pest control to get rid of these people. But Arrietty hears the screams of her mother and goes, finds Shou to help save her mother, which they do. And now during this part, Shou reveals to Arrietty about his heart condition, that he's going to have this operation to replace it, that he won't survive. That's key details. Now, they save Hamili, and Hamili, Pod, Arrietty, and Spiller, they leave. Now, the pest control show up, but they don't see anything, and the jar is obviously gone. Hamili's gone from the jar, so they think Haru kind of goes crazy. They think she's crazy, and they leave. And then the cat that they have discovers the family, discovers that Arrietty and her family and Spiller are leaving, and so goes to Shou, where Shou goes and confronts them near this small little river where they're getting into this teapot to leave. And Shou, Arrietty kind of had this moment or whatever, and saying bye and all that. And then he also reveals that, he doesn't think originally he was okay with dying from the operation because there's not a really good successful rate with the heart transplant and everything. He decides that because he's seen them survive, that he's going to fight to survive the operation. And that's kind of where the movie's supposed to end. But since I watched the dub, apparently the Disney added more, a monologue by Shou, where he says that he never seen Arrietty again. We see him go back to his aunt's house, so that not from this moment, but from a little later time, meaning that he survived his operation, and that he's happy because he has heard about rumors about items disappearing in the neighborhood from houses. And obviously he's happy because he knows that that's the borrowers. And that's how the movie officially ends in the Disney version, or the Disney dub version. Other than that, that's pretty much it, guys. Now let's kind of get into my thoughts. Overall, I thought it was a very interesting story. I liked how they're not really, small people aren't pixies or anything. They're just naturally small little humans. And I thought that was pretty interesting. I like that story. I like the, obviously this is made a little bit for more children, but I still enjoyed it. The writing is really good. I enjoyed all the characters, and the animation art style is, they're good as always. And yeah, that's pretty much all my thoughts, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like. If you're new, subscribe and the notification bell so you're notified for the next upload. My YouTube channel, website link, my Twitter, my Snapchat, and Instagram are all in the description as always. And thank you. Goodbye.